Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, and welcome to our guests and all of our wonderful members. This is a great turnout today. As Art said to you, volunteering for roles and responsibilities at Toastmasters, the purpose is to create a learning environment where we all learn from each other, support each other in our quest to develop our leadership skills and our speaking skills, and to present entertaining, dynamic meetings that we look forward to attending, right?
Right.
Well, while taking on all of these roles is absolutely essential, it may not be enough for you to be inspired to do it, right? So today, I'm going to give you a brief overview of the roles and point you towards the resources that are going to help you learn them and master the roles. But more importantly for you, I'm going to show you how to get recognized and rewarded for doing so. You heard Tatiana at the beginning when we brought on Ting as our new member recite the promise, excuse me, and it sounded like a poem. And one of the lines in the promise was to prepare to fulfill meeting assignments. And Ting said, yes, I will do that. And we all said we'd support her, right? In the Toastmasters mission, there's also a statement I want to read to you that's really very important about this responsibility we have of taking on roles. Being a Toastmaster means more than simply making a commitment to self. Everyone who joins a Toastmasters club is making a commitment to the club and to all of you and to the organization of Toastmasters International as a whole. So that means that we don't just come in here and sign up every week for a speech and never take on any roles. It means we have to have a balance. We have to take on roles that support the speakers, so the speakers can get up here and do what they do and get better and better at that every single week. We need to participate in all the aspects of Toastmasters. And it's not just because it's a responsibility that has to be done, it's really because we learn from it and we become better leaders. When you speak improvisationally, when you have to stand up and explain a role and learn and master that role, all of those things put you in the spotlight, right? And that's part of becoming a leader and becoming a great speaker as well. So what are some of the various roles at Toastmasters that you've either held or that you look forward to holding? Anyone?
The awe counter.
The awe counter, yes. Ding, 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 ding. What are some of the other roles? Grammarian.
Toastmaster of the day.
The Toastmaster of the day.
Table topics master.
Table topics master, absolutely. Others?
Evaluator.
Sorry?
Evaluator.
Evaluator. Why is the evaluator important, do you think? Anyone? Yes.
It improves your listening skills.
And listening is really key in this job because as a leader, think about your bosses that you have at work. Is listening to you important to you? Mm-hmm. We really want them to know us and to listen to us. So developing your leadership skills means becoming a much better listener. What I have for you here, and I'm going to pass out, and I only have 10, so let's share them with our newest members first, The rest of you, when you become members, you're going to get one too. And then the rest of you can take one. And what it is, it's called A Toastmaster Wears Many Hats. And I purchased this off of Toastmasters, and then I copied it. So, please take
I'll have to
one.
edit that out of the video.
Or share one. Thank you, Arnie, for editing. I really appreciate that. What is unique about this job is that we perform in here and we learn by observing, but we also learn where? Where else do we learn? Where do we do our deep learning? Anyone?
Between speeches.
Yeah, thanks, Fred. Between our speeches, when we're writing a speech, wow, that writing, I never thought writing would be so difficult. I thought I'd just get up here and speak. The writing part's really hard. But then learning the roles, and what this booklet will do for you, and if you need to make more copies or you want more copies, let me know, we'll get more copies made. It goes through every single role. For example, if you're the timer, it describes what the timer is, that's on page 4. It tells you what you are supposed to do prior to the meeting, what to do upon arrival at the meeting, what you're supposed to do during the meeting, and what you should do after the meeting. But you didn't know there are all those responsibilities. So hopefully this will help you as you take on different roles. This is the learning part, the part between the meetings, that will help you to feel confident when you come in here because you've prepared, just like you prepare for a speech. You would never come up here and not be prepared for a speech. We want you to do the same thing when you're preparing for a role. So, there is a roadmap. Now I'm getting into the what's in it for you part. There is a roadmap for you to follow that will help you to select roles and also to document. Your roles will be documented. How many of you have been on Easy Speak in the last 2 weeks? Fantastic. That's great. Good. We're getting really good participation. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to the Easy Speak site. I'm going to try to go to the Easy Speak site. I'm going to need a little assistance here, please. Thank you very much. So we're going to go to Tatiana's Easy Speak. And I want to do this because I want to show you the steps to go through. I'm still learning. There's so much to learn. It's such a robust site and so many capabilities. And the more we learn, the more comfortable we feel about being on Easy Speak. Okay, so when you get onto the site, the first thing that you want to do is you want to go to, let's go to View Meeting. And the reason you want to do that is because if you now look to the left, and Tatiana, would you mind just scrolling down a little bit there? You can see there's all kinds of things on the left side that weren't there when you first got to the site. So that's why you want to go to View Meeting first. So now we're viewing today's meeting, okay? If you had a role, and let's start by, let's go to the next meeting. So she's going to show you up here in the corner where you click on to go to the next meeting. And you'll see there that there are a lot of roles that have not been selected yet. People's names have been put in there, and that's a possibility I have, a capability I have because I'm the VP of Education. And so I run an activity there called Auto, and it automatically and randomly places people into roles based on when you did the role last. Okay, that is not written in stone. You can always change that. But if you click on your name, so let's take Tatiana, for example. Do we have any roles not filled there? No. Oh, you don't have the capabilities I have, do you? Okay, there we go. So let's look at, are we going to look at op counter or grammarian, any of those? Look at grammarian. Let's say she doesn't want to take this role. So she clicks on, no, I'm not going to take it. I'll be there, but I'm not going to take the role. Okay. Let's see if this will do what we want it to do. Okay. So, sorry, this is not looking the way I wanted it to look. But you can go in and you can confirm or you can decline a role, okay? And once you do that, then I get an email that says you've confirmed that you're going to take on that role. or you've declined that you're going to take on that role. If you go to future meetings, so let's go to maybe 2 or 3 meetings forward, maybe into October, where there's a lot of, where people are not signed up. Okay, so let's see, so we're going into October. There we go. And there are roles where there are people put into those but not signed up yet. You can go in, and if it's unassigned, you can put your name in there, okay? And you just put your name right in there, and then I get an email that says that you want that role. So that's one thing you can do to select a role. Now we're going to go over to the left-hand side of the screen to the area called My Participation up at the top. And I want you to go where it says Review My CL Progress. So when you go to review my CL progress, this is Tatiana's, you can see the progress that she's made and what she has left. So you can manage that yourself. I look at that all the time, and I might call you and say, oh, you only have 1 role left, or would you like to take on this role? You haven't done this one. Or you can do the same thing for the speeches. You can look at your speech progress the same way. So that's all under the section called My Participation. Now, if you look over on the far right-hand side of that screen, let's go back to that. You see where it says leadership goals? You can add a leadership goal and a date. And why is this important? Because when we achieve a goal that we've set, it motivates us. It's very motivating, and it helps us to keep going. So I suggest to you that you set a goal for yourself. You can set any of those kinds of things. This is her screen. It's going to be a little bit different than yours. Okay. So one other thing I want to show you. If you would go to My Communication on the left and go to Discussion Forum, and under there go to NPS Files. We just added this, and thanks to Monique, we now have an opportunity to put in at the end of your CL to document on an electronic file all of the things all of the projects that you have completed, okay? So that's very brief. If you want some help on that, Jack can help you, Arnie can help you, I can help you. Each person's screen is going to look a little bit differently. Thank you so much for that. Yes, thank you. So how are you going to get through all of this? Well, the way we're going to get through it is one bite at a time, the same way you eat an elephant, right? One roll at a time. There's 3 ways to sign up. Easy Speak, which I just showed you, the handout at the end of every meeting, and just telling me about a role that you want. Ways that you master the role: you can go to the international website, you can use the form that I gave you today, you can talk to your mentor. So I encourage you, do it now. Sign up for a role every single week and get feedback from your mentors. Get feedback from anybody in the room that has maybe held the role before and they did a really good job. The feedback is essential. I showed you how to track your progress. You have the document that's on Easy Speak. You have it in your book. How many of you brought your book today? Show me your book. Great. Make sure anytime you take on a role, you have somebody complete the evaluation of the project, and then you go to page 6 and you fill this in. This is the document that Monique, thank you very much, put together for us electronically, and at the end I will ask you for. We'll talk about that more in the future, about how to use that so that you can get your CL as quickly as possible. So you need to strategize about how am I going to get this done. Why do I say that? Because the last couple of roles in the book require you to be involved in a campaign or a contest, and we don't have those every week. And so you want to look forward to how you are going to get that done. So in summary, You need to know your roadmap. You need to make incremental progress, 1 week at a time. Say yes when you're asked. Be a giver. Use the resources that I've provided you to master your roles, and just do it. Remember, achieving your competent leadership is so key because it helps all of us. Henry Ford said, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success.